My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and today we are looking at what has your person realized about you, this connection. What have they realized about themselves through this connection? We're looking at how they're processing you mentally at this time. We're going to look at their feelings for you, and then we're going to get some advice from Spirit. In the extended, if your person has someone else, we're going to look at that third party or karmic connection. Follow very much the same format, and then at the end, we're going to look at what's going to be your person's next actions towards you within 1 month of you watching this reading. So let's begin. And begin as always through the energy check in. Okay, because this provides context for the messages that come through. Now, for those of you who've been waiting for the spiritual recalibration class for twin flames and higher level soulmates, that's going to be on the 6/6 portal. It's 1 2 hour session, and persons who complete will get an internationally recognized certificate as a practitioner of this modality for twin flames. And someone was asking about when's the next basic SRT class at Spirit Remote Spirit Release Therapy. That is going to be in the energies of the 8/8 portal, which is on the 7th of August, and every Tuesday for 7 weeks thereafter. Okay, I'll put the links down below. So, what is the energy of a person? We have healer in reverse, and it says taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for oneself. So it feels like they're doing a bit of a spiral at this time. Now, this could be transient energy, this could be past energy. We're going to see as the cards come out. All right, Spirit, let's give us some insight into who this person is generally at this time. And then we have divine masculine. So that energy that we saw underneath the deck of them taking advantage of others and not taking care of themselves, that's something that's transient, right? This is someone who may be on a twin flame high level soulmate journey, certainly a spiritual journey, and everything about them has changed. They have evolved, they've grown. And the energy of the divine masculine, and all of us, we have an inner divine masculine, and some of us have been fortunate enough to meet our outer divine masculine, and our outer divine masculine reflects our inner divine masculine, and vice versa. This person is standing in their power. The divine masculine is about having a good relationship with power. So we're not going into force, and we're not being a people pleaser or being a passive bystander in our life. The divine masculine also creates form, function, and structure to anything that is created. So um, their life has purpose. Their life has purpose, right? The energy of the divine masculine is about being a leader, right? Especially being a leader in your own life, right? Being the main character in your own life, right? It's about being, well, I talked about the relationship with power already, but it's about standing in your power, and not giving your power away, or as I said before, not abusing one's power either. So this is where they're at, right? So this is divine masculine energy, right? Let's see the energy towards you. So that deck I just used, I created my own card with, with that one. Because I had extra cards, extra blank cards. You could have created your own cards. So I did. But that's the archetype cards by Carolyn Miss. And this deck that I'm using is the Little Red One Tarot by Lavita Rue. And she passed away, I think it was um, in 2018, some thereabouts. Or maybe after. When was Hurricane Katrina? I think she died in Hurricane Katrina. But her mom sells these now to send her son to school. So if you do want the link, you could let me know and I'll put it down below for you, okay? We have Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So even though they seem to have themselves in order, their life in order, when it comes to you, they're a little bit scattered. Let's see what's going on. We have the Chariot in reverse. They seem to be stuck. I mean, certainly they could be stuck on you, but this energy feels stale. It feels stagnant. It feels like them knowing that they need to move forward, but not moving forward. Okay, so we're going to pull some cards on that and we're going to find out why, right? What is causing that stale, stagnant energy or that stalemate energy that we are seeing there when it comes to you? Because they seem to be pretty empowered. But what seems to be the issue when it comes to you? They're taking action in every aspect of their life, but when it comes to you, they are holding back, and we want to know why. Okay, we have here the Four of Pentacles. Right? Why are they being self-protective? All right, let's see. Spirit tells about this divine masculine energy. And this is the Blood Moon Tarot. We have the Two of Swords. Okay, that talks about mental conflict. And then we have the Two of Wands in reverse. All right, now the Two of Wands in reverse for me goes to the Ace of Wands. So they are taking action. And what are they taking action against or towards? They're taking action to any area of conflict in their life right now. Right? So anything that does not align with who they are, or how they identify themselves at this time, anything that is not resonating with who they are becoming or who they want to be, right? Any kind of discordant energy or persons or things in their energy field, they are taking action on that, right? They're no longer leaving those things to work themselves out. And that's also aligned with divine masculine energy. It's about taking action. It's not just waiting for life to happen to you, you know. It is taking advantage of the opportunities that life presents, making life happen, manifestation. All right, but let's see why they're not extending that can-do energy to you. Why they're not extending that can-do energy to you. We have Page of Pentacles in reverse. That can also talk about not willing to reach out at this time because they feel like they don't have anything to offer. This can also be a child that was not offered stability. So they have doubts about being able to stay in and being happy in a romantic relationship. What else is happening? Why the big hold up when it comes to you? They've just mashed brakes. Why is that? And we have the Hanged Man here. They don't know what to do. Yeah, but why? Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this could be an energy or a person, and this is a karmic energy. And the karmic energy of Queen of Pentacles is in reverse is feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like you're not stable enough, feeling like you don't have enough, especially materially, to give to a person, give to a relationship, right? It could also be a feeling of not feeling financially stable enough. But this can also represent a person in your person's life, a karmic energy. And we're going to look at that relationship in the extended, right? So it seems like everything in their life they're taking action on, but when it comes to you, things have come to a screeching halt because of these energies within them, and it's also manifested on the outside of them by the presence of a karmic partner. Now let's ask the question. What has your person realized about you and this connection? What have they realized about you and this connection? We have Death in reverse. It's just not going to die. We have the Three of Wands in reverse. And that's the energy of frustration. That Death in reverse can talk about things not changing. We have Ten of Pentacles in reverse. That can talk about a breakup, or it can talk about the potential of something that has not been realized. or the potential of something that has not been grounded. And then we have the Four of Wands. All right, so what have they realized about you in this connection? They think that you are their ultimate soulmate, ultimate partner. If you resonate with um, the terminology of twin flames, they think that you are this to them, right? They think that you are this to them. But what they are feeling from you is an energy of frustration. And apparently you are frustrated because things to you aren't changing in your relationship. You feel like things have not evolved. You feel like things are not progressing. And perhaps it isn't because they are here in the chariot in reverse. So you are feeling that stalemate energy. And maybe you feel like you've waited a long time, but nothing is happening. And they feel like you are getting very frustrated and impatient with them and their shenanigans. They also feel that you think that they are not serious about you, or they think that you think that they're playing games with you. But it doesn't look like that. It looks like there's something internal that's holding them back, their feelings of not being good enough. And then there's also something or someone external that also may be a physical barrier to them coming forward. But really it all begins with their mindset. It's not anybody else, right? There may be another relationship, but what's holding them back is themselves and their sense of self-worth and what they think they can or cannot bring to a relationship, right? And there's nothing you can do to make a person feel better about themselves or to convince them that they deserve more. That's an internal process that has to happen on the inside of them, right? It is a relationship with themselves that they are also playing out with the relationships with other people in their life, right? So their self-worth and their perception of their value is what's dictating their actions right now. And again, there's nothing anyone can do about that. That is an inside job. What has your person realized about themselves through encountering you, through this connection, through this process? What have they realized about themselves? What are they realizing currently? What's the current realization? We have the Emperor in reverse. That for too long they have been given their power away. That for too long they've been stymied. Oh, they've been stymieing themselves. I shouldn't say they've been stymied. They've been stymieing themselves because we are never powerless in all circumstance. Or mind might tell us that we're powerless, but we're never powerless in all circumstance. There's always a move on the chessboard, right? So they have been a passive bystander in their life, and they have allowed other persons to dictate their pace and dictate that the form and the timing in which their life will unfold. We have the Six of Pentacles, that they've not been an equal partner in this relationship. They've not shown up for you the way that you have shown up for them. And it feels like this may also be an imbalance that they see when they evaluate past relationships. It's either they are the overgiver or they are receiving more than they're giving. They're never in balance. That's what they realize. They're never in balance. What do we have here? The Two of Wands in reverse. And for me, the Two of Wands in reverse goes to the Ace of Wands. So what they're realizing about themselves is that they're stronger than they think. They're more empowered than they think. And they have more control over how their life will unfold and the things that are happening to them than they thought previously. What else are they realizing about themselves? We have the King of Wands in reverse. And they're also realizing that they've only been stagnant because they have chosen to be stagnant. They have chosen not to take action. Nobody is holding them back. No karmic, no job, no child, no money. No. Nothing is holding them back except themselves. That's what they've realized. And nothing is holding you back except yourself. Not this connection, not anything else. Nothing is holding you back except yourself. There's always a way to move forward. Right? So when you're watching these readings, especially if you resonate with being in a twin flame dynamic or high level soulmate dynamic, know that everything around you and every person, especially those that you're intimately in contact with, they are reflecting back to you a part of yourself. Right? So if they have been disempowered, there might have been times in this relationship where you may have been disempowered as well, or you may still be disempowering yourself. Right? And that's something that you may need to address. And if they've felt that all their relationships have been unbalanced, maybe when you reflect on your past relationships, you may also see that there wasn't balance there as well. Right? So always use these readings as a tool for healing and self-reflection. Now, when they think about you and they think about this connection, how are they processing you mentally? What are they thinking about? We have the Page of Wands. They want to do over. They want to start afresh. We have the Three of Cups in reverse because right now they're not happy. We have Judgment. They've gone through this awakening process. They're seeing things differently. They're not the same person. And it looks like they're using the truth that they've long loaded to cut themselves out of the vines. And look how these vines are emanating from the mind. To cut themselves away from these negative thoughts that have been like cords binding them to a particular circumstance. And they've got that inspiration from you because they see how you have freed yourself, whether it's freed yourself from past pain and trauma, whether it's freed yourself from dysfunctional family members, whether it's freed yourself uh, from ex-lovers that weren't good for you, whatever it is. They've seen how you've done that, or maybe you've freed yourself from a toxic job that wasn't going anywhere. Whatever it is, they have seen you make that jailbreak, and they're inspired by you to do the same. Yeah, we have Justice. They see as a very balanced person. They see as someone who's fair, someone who's objective. They see as someone who's awakened. They see as someone who has achieved a high level of consciousness, right? You make them see the world in a whole different light. And they want to be near that kind of energy. They're ready for change. There's someone who's ready for change. And that's a big thing because it feels like in the past it may have been quite resistant. So this is something new. Now, let's look at their heart space energy for you at this time. We have bitter. Oh, wow. All right, let's see what they're bitter about. All right, Spirit, what is this person's heart space energy for viewer? We have envious, right? They are envious of the life that you have manifested for yourself. They are envious of your freedom. They're envious of the abundance you may have manifested. They are envious of your authenticity. They're envious of your community, the village that you've built, the tribe that you've built, right? They're envious of that because, you know, they They look, and everything you have is what they want for themselves. They know it's hard work to get there, but they can't help being envious. They're obsessed with you. So if you're somewhere on social media, know they are gobbling everything up. Okay? So whether it is on Facebook, Insta, you have a YouTube channel, yeah, just Google searching. They are obsessed with just making contact with your energy by any means necessary. Heart space energy for you. Yeah, I told you. They're in stalker mode right now, right? Um, I hope, well, I mean, stalking is never healthy, but I hope they're not doing anything dangerous, okay, or anything that compromises your safety. But this, they are obsessed. They can't get enough. Um, and they want to know what you are up to. They're desperate to know what you're up to because they can feel this. They can feel your frustration, they can feel your need to move on. They feel it. They feel it on a very tangible level. So they just want to see if you've already made your move. They want to know if you're still interested in them, because right now they can just feel you disconnecting. That's what they feel. They feel you disconnected. They feel frustration. It's like, and they like, you're like, you know what? Fuck this, right? So they feel that, and this is sending them into a panic. They are desperate. So in the extended, we're going to use the same format for the karmic relationship, and then we're going to look at your person's next actions towards you. But if you can't join me in the extended, this is Spirit's advice for you at this time. We have imagination in a child. Okay, let's see what this is about. We have compromise, the master teacher. Okay, let's see what Spirit wants to tell us. It's a card number 49, which reduced to 13. And that's about, alchemy. It's about transformation and change. So Spirit seems to be telling us that if we want the situation to transform, we want it to change, there's some middle ground that you guys can achieve where you both get what you want without compromising yourself and your principles. So that here it says compromise, master teacher, concession, fairness, democracy, and neutrality. And it says your master teacher is reminding you that nothing is entirely good or bad, even people, and that every person has their own version of reality, which may not necessarily agree with yours. And that is why communication is so important, so that you see where this other person's head's at and you can find middle ground. Instead of arguing with or feeling wronged by those who refuse to submit to your point of view, give up your righteous and rigid demands and broaden your perspective to include the interests of those you struggle with now. Mentally move towards center and open your mind to look at the situation from their point of view. Although it's easy to feel indignant and defensive as you deal with this current impasse, the truth is that no one is trying to harm you. Instead, your detractors are simply supporting their own interests and oh good God, I'm going there again, which are different from yours. Rather than reacting emotionally to their resistance, strive to understand them. Be mindful not to be overly self centered, however justified it may be. Strive to be fair instead. Your master teacher message is accept that your interests are no more or no less important than those of the people around you. So the only way to progress to higher ground is to compromise. So you may be looking at this situation here and you're like, this person is stringing me along, la 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 la. But they have their own point of view, they have their own issues that you're dealing with, and that's fine, right? But that doesn't prevent you from honoring yourself, honoring your needs, and where you feel you need to be. Okay? But Spirit is saying there's a win-win situation here, right? If we look at it objectively, that's for you and your person to work out. That win-win is going to look differently for everybody. But once there's communication, you guys understand where each other are coming from, there is a win-win situation that can manifest. Okay? All right, my love, so that was your reading. I hope that was helpful.